A Puerto Rico LLC, limited liability company, is a business entity that offers strong liability protection and more flexibility than a corporation in how it can be managed and taxed. To officially start your Puerto Rico LLC, you'll need to file a certificate of formation with the Puerto Rico Department of State and pay the fee. First, you must choose a company name and appoint a registered agent for your LLC. The Department of State typically takes between a day and a week to process LLC filings they receive, depending on how you file. We've created a step-by-step guide to help you get your LLC up and running. Step 1. Name your LLC. Before you file your certificate of formation, you need to make sure your business name follows Puerto Rico's LLC name requirements. First, you must make sure your preferred name is available, meaning no other business in Puerto Rico is currently using it. If you want to make sure no other business claims your name while you're preparing to file, you can reserve a business name for 120 days by filing an application for reservation of corporate name and paying the filing fee. What's the difference between my LLC's name and an assumed business name? Your official business name is the one written on your certificate of formation. If your LLC uses another name to do business, that name is called an assumed business name. An assumed business name is also sometimes called a trade name or doing business name, DBA. For example, Hank's Vintage Toy Shop, LLC might expand its products and start going by Hank's Toy Emporium. Hank's Vintage Toy Shop, LLC would remain the business's legal name, and Hank's Toy Emporium would be an assumed business name. To register an assumed business name in Puerto Rico, you must file a trade name application with the Department of State. Step 2. Designate a registered agent. Next, you need to appoint a Puerto Rico registered agent. Your registered agent, also called a resident agent, will be the person or company you designate to accept important notices from the Department of State on your business's behalf. According to laws, every Puerto Rico LLC must maintain a registered agent. You can serve as your own registered agent, or you can appoint another person or a registered agent service. Step 3. Submit LLC Certificate of Formation. Once you're ready to officially start your LLC, you'll need to complete a form called the Certificate of Formation and submit it to the Puerto Rico Department of State online, by mail, or in person. The Certificate of Formation requires information about your company name. It must include limited liability company, or the abbreviation LLC, L.L.C. There must be an actual street address in Puerto Rico and will go on the public record. For mailing address, you can use a P.O. box here if you want. For further process, a registered agent will accept service of process on behalf of your business. Write about your business purpose. This can be specific or general. Next, fill out the names and street addresses of whoever your LLC authorized to complete your certificate of formation. This doesn't have to be someone within your LLC. For term of existence, you can either choose a specific date for your LLC to dissolve or choose indefinite or perpetual. Perpetual means you ideally want your business to continue forever, whereas indefinite means you expect your business to dissolve at some point, but you haven't chosen a specific date. Practically, it doesn't make much difference whether you choose indefinite or perpetual in this form. When your LLC becomes official, it can either become effective immediately, most common, or on any date up to 90 days in the future. Lastly, the authorized persons need to sign. You will also need to provide a business email address where the Department of State can contact you regarding your filing. This business email address does not go on the public record, but everything else on this form will. Fourth, write an LLC operating agreement. An operating agreement, or limited liability company agreement, is a legal document that outlines the rules and procedures of an LLC. It's where your members decide how you will distribute profits and losses, how you'll vote to make changes, and even what you'll do if you need to throw in the towel and dissolve the business. Your operating agreement will be an internal document, so you should keep it on record at your business, rather than submitting it to the Puerto Rico Department of State. In the absence of an operating agreement, your LLC will be governed by Puerto Rico's default laws for LLCs. Step 5. Get an EIN. Once your certificate of formation has been approved by the Department of State, it's time to apply for an EIN. An EIN, which stands for Employer Identification Number, is a number given to a business by the IRS for identification on tax forms. It's basically a social security number for businesses. You can get an EIN for free from the IRS. The fastest way is to apply online, but if you don't have a social security number, you'll need to mail in the paper form. What to do after forming your Puerto Rico LLC? Step 6. Open a bank account. Your LLC needs its own bank account to maintain its limited liability status. Why? Having limited liability status means that your LLC is legally a separate entity, with its own assets, interests, and liability. If your LLC's funds are mixed in with the owner's personal money, a court could decide that your LLC is not a true separate entity, which could jeopardize your limited liability. Now that your LLC has a bank account, it's time to fund it. All LLC members need to make an initial contribution to pay for their membership interest. This typically means each member writes a check to the LLC bank account. Alternatively, members could contribute property or services to the LLC. Just be aware that if members invest in property or services, there's likely to be a tax event. Step 8. File state reports and taxes. Puerto Rico LLCs need to submit an annual statement and pay an annual fee of $150. The annual statement is slightly less detailed than the annual report that corporations have to submit, but it serves the same purpose, updating the Department of State on your business's ownership and contact information. How are Puerto Rico LLCs taxed? Domestic Puerto Rico LLCs are taxed as corporations by default. However, LLCs can also elect to be taxed as a pass-through entity by filing a classification election with the Puerto Rico Department of the Treasury and a federal classification election with the IRS. If your LLC is taxed as a pass-through entity, the profits will pass through the business to the owners, who report the profits as personal income on their tax returns. The profits in this case would be taxed at the federal self-employment tax rate, 15.3%. If you are confused or consider these steps to be difficult, you can employ a professional formation service to file your LLC. Northwest Registered Agent is an amazing company that will guide you through creating your LLC. They even have a service where they will file your LLC for you without you going through any hassle. Watch the rest of the video, where I will show you how to form an LLC in under 1 minute through Northwest Registered Agent. The full review of Northwest Registered Agent is also given in the description down below. Starting an LLC? Let us show you how to do it in a right way. First thing first, the whole point of an LLC is to separate you and your business. That's what protects your finances and privacy. Start by appointing a registered agent. Your LLC official point of contact. Hiring a registered agent is a smart and affordable method to maximize privacy. Next, see if your name is available by checking your state business database. Now you are ready to file state paperwork. The average fee is around $100. Apply for a free EIN from IRS website. Having your tax ID in hand you'll make the rest steps easy. Put your LLC policy in writing with an operating agreement. Make it easy with free template like ours. Remember when we said LLC separates you and your business, that's why your LLC needs its own bank account. Your bank account does not do any good in empty. Time for each member to contribute. Be prepared for annual files and fees like state reports and taxes. Check the link in the description below. Start your LLC with Northwest Registered Agent.